In the next lesson, I actually want to talk to you. First of all, why I personally chose to work with Wix. So, first of all, it's an amazing platform, very convenient, very user-friendly. Everything here is quite clear, quite accessible. When I say accessible, I mean that everything here can really be implemented quickly. Not like in the past when everything was very, very complex and required. Development and design and everything was really much more cumbersome. So here anyone can actually sign up for Wix, create an account, and build the website they need, or even more, work as a freelancer and build websites for other people, family, friends, clients, and earn quite a bit of money from it. And the reason is that everything here is really simple. So basically, we sat down and built a very, very simple online sales website, very, very easy to build. I want to show you an example. Let's say over time, I decided I want to add to this site, let's say a blog. I also want to write a daily, weekly, or monthly blog and essentially write content that interests me, that interests customers. So basically, I can do this both from the dashboard and from the editor itself. I can essentially go to an interface called CMS and essentially decide if I want to add a new feature or a database to the system, and I can do it from here, and I can also do it from the apps themselves from here. Okay, I have all kinds of app ideas here. And I can very essentially use the extremely helpful and beneficial Wix's recommendations from within Wix. Okay. And as I said, also from the dashboard. So in the dashboard, we also have the same CMS. Okay. We will talk about this CMS in the next lesson, which is a bit more advanced. We will learn how to manage collections and databases here. If we want a bit more from Wix, but essentially what I'm talking about now is actually a blog. So let's go and search for a blog. Okay, like Wix blog. And we simply add it to the site. Go to editor. It essentially installs the pages required for the site now to have a blog. Just like in a store where we have a category page and a product page, here too. In a quite similar way, we will have a page for all our articles. Okay? And we will have a page for the article itself. So let's let it finish. Now we can see in our pages that it has also added blog pages for us. So we have like categories, the main page of the blog. There we can see all the articles. Let's update the background of the page again. And here we can see all the articles that exist on our site. Okay, here too we can design if we click on the settings. Just like in categories, we have display, what we want to show. So the name of the article's author, their picture, when the article was published, on what date, approximately how long on average it takes to read this article. If it is categorized, to which category does it belong? More actions. How many comments the article has, description, how many views the article has, and how many likes. Similarly, you can edit the blog from here. Okay? And the social sharing, where we want to share. We have the layout, how we want to display the articles. Is it in rows? Is it in cards, side by side? Do we want it in a tile format with one short, one long? Do we want it like a magazine or to display everything in one cell? Okay, let's stick to this, let's say, or to that. Additionally, we have the design. We can really design every part of this card. For example, how the rating will look, how the buttons will look, how the posts themselves will look, the title, okay, how the navigation will look. Let's play a bit with the title. We see that we have a title with Arial text, a bit too bold. Let's change it to this. We can also design the short description. Maybe we'll slightly reduce the text size. And this is how we actually design the articles page. We have the header here. If you want, you can also design it. Notice that once we added a blog, you can also choose here. Once we added a blog, it automatically adds a search engine for us. Okay? You can leave it and design it, or you can take it out. Okay? You'll receive some notification that you've taken it out of the safe area. And you can also remove it if you want. This is actually the introductory page of the articles. It shows all the articles you've published. And the second page is actually the post itself. So this is how we actually move to the article itself. Again, the topic of the background. And here we can see the article itself. Okay. So of course, this can also be designed. Setting. So first of all, display, what we want to show. Here, everything is marked. We want to show the author's name, date, how long, tags, various things. Counter of how many read, how many viewed, how many commented. Design. Again, we can style the text. So the title, we said it, would be Avner. And various different kinds of quotes. If there are links, the headline, okay? Headline, for example, this is what we see here. Okay? The title in the headline, a secondary title, as it's called. Heading 3, heading 4, okay? In this article, there are no titles, but if there were, then essentially a main title, secondary, 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 and so on. Okay, we have the rating, the background, and the buttons. And basically, this is how we design. The post itself, let's click on Publish. Let's return to the site. And we will see, first of all, that more will be added here because there is no space. And we also have a blog now. Okay, let's go to the blog. We will see the articles we created. And when we click on an article, we will enter the article. So where exactly do we see the articles? Let's go back to the dashboard. And within the dashboard, we will now have a new section called Blog. The blog. We will be able to see posts, comments we received, categories, authors. Okay. Let's go to a post, for example. We can see that we don't have any posts here. So how do we create a post? Very simple. Create new post. And we actually enter this editor, which is quite similar to Word. Okay? And we can simply write there whatever we want. I will enter and copy some article. So the title is Custom Guitar Design Trends. Okay? I will write some initial text. Okay, now I want an image. So I go to the head image. I will choose from Wix again, some image. Let's enlarge a bit. Below the image, I will add the rest of the article. And of course, you can edit. Okay. Please proceed to adjust and modify the text so that it is resized to fit this specific dimension, ensuring that the size is changed accordingly to meet the required specifications. Okay. Now, we actually have a few options here that are important to know. We can actually click on a save. Once we clicked on save, we haven't published the article. But if we go back to the post, we'll see that in the draft, we have one item, meaning we have an article that we started writing and haven't published yet. It could be that we got tired in the middle, or maybe we haven't finished writing and yes, we want to save and continue at another time on another day. So as long as we did save, that article is saved in the draft. We actually want to publish it. We go into editing and simply click on publish. Publish essentially changes it from draft status to published, meaning we've published one article. Okay. Here we can, of course, schedule the publication of articles. We can see those that are pending, those that we deleted. And if we go back to the site, okay, then we will see in all posts that the article we published already appears. Okay? And of course, when we click on the article, we'll go to the page itself and we can read it. So this is basically how you simply add a blog to the site or anything you want. Everything happens simply and very quickly. All you need to do is go to the app market, choose what you want to add. Okay? There are many, many apps here that you should explore, such as in the field of shipping, payment processing, website accessibility, marketing additions, and customer relations with WhatsApp marketing, and many, 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 many features that greatly streamline the interaction with the website and the users. It's worth checking out.